Bam! What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Trennon and Ryan Sports Show, the TNR Sports Show. My name's Trennon. That's Ryan. Say what's up, Ryan.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Oh, God. Nothing much. What's going on with you?
Yeah. Chilling,
Good. I don't care. Here's the news. A little housekeeping before we get rolling. College football is officially over, other than Army Navy. I got slack for saying it was over today. Technically, Army and Navy still think. So we have to wait for that to go forward. So
just moved into FCS and call it a day.
No. Army is very competitive at the FBS level. But this is the last Monday episode said. For now, we're gonna go back to the normal Friday only episode. If I feel there's a need to go back to the 2 episodes a week, we will. But for now, we are going to one main Friday podcast episode. So what I mean by that is there's just going to be one big episode. It'll come out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. It'll all be there. It's going to be uploaded at 5 a.m. in the morning, very early. And that's just going to it's going to be like that now. For this one's going to be uploaded at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning on Monday. And then, moving forward, it's just going to be Fridays. But kind of a switch up mode, I'm going to try to kind of focus a lot on the YouTube channel going forward. So with that being said, there's going to be a lot of YouTube videos, kind of a shorter video. So it's kind of like your typical sports talk video. So check those out. We're moving forward. They're going to be about NFL, college football, basketball, college basketball mainly, maybe something else. Who knows? Maybe I'll get crazy with it. But that's what we got going on. First, right off the jump, that's all the housekeeping items I had. First, Brent Venables is going to Oklahoma to be the next head coach of the Sooners. I, for one, am severely disappointed. But Ryan, I'm sure, isn't. Roll my eyes at that one. But my opinion is that I hate Oklahoma now. I am now in the book that I'm not even going to fake it anymore. I am straight up anti-Sooner from here on out. Happy for Brent Venables. Happy for his child. I hope he doesn't transfer. But I am now fiercely anti-Oklahoma. I will make that statement. I will no longer pull for them in any capacity, and I will always cheer for them to lose.
I think you should be anti-Lincoln Riley.
No, I think it's cool. I think it's cool what he's doing over there in Southern California.
Sure you do.
What a cool guy. If it wasn't for Lincoln Riley, Arkansas wouldn't got Jane Hazelwood.
Fair.
Glasses always half full.
He actually might have transferred anyway because he wasn't doing much for us. But
oh yeah, that's because y'all don't have good quarterbacks that can throw the ball down the field.
Please.
Did you see Spencer Rattler all half the year? Lincoln Riley should be fired. The fact that he didn't start Caleb Williams at the beginning of the year.
That's true.
Ooh, my computer is not silenced. I got virus and security problems apparently. But I digress. Ryan, what do you think about Brent Venables going to OU?
It's bittersweet. I don't want him to leave Clemson.
Oh, Ryan loves it. Don't lie. Ryan loves this. He loves it.
I love it for Oklahoma. I don't like it for Clemson.
Clemson's dead as a program. It's over. It's dead.
They are quite not.
It's all over at the crying at this point. The recruits are going to start
quitting.
Everybody's sad.
Clemson's going to be fine. Luckily, Brent Venables is a man of honor, unlike some people here. And he will not recruit Clemson players. He's just going to – I mean, if they want to come and they, are like, hey, I'm just leaving, yeah, he'll recruit them. But he's not going to go out his way like Lincoln Riley did to recruit former players and screw a program over. He's also not going to take half the coaching staff and screw you over even more. Most likely it'll just be Brent leaving for Oklahoma. There might be 1 or 2 transfers. I could see it. Maybe 1 or 2 decommits in the commitment class, but nothing crazy. It'll probably be similar to Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame where nothing really happened. I would highly expect Clemson to promote Todd Bates. He's the defensive line coach right now at Clemson. He's also the recruiting coordinator. Brent Venables doesn't recruit the players.
He was only like 40 recruiting trips this weekend, but whatever. We did watch him, throughout the whole weekend.
He's the one you bring in to close the deal, but Todd Bates is the one who recruits. Anyways, I think he'll probably be promoted to
The guy
the.
was only halfway across the country like 5 times this entire week. He was only in like Oklahoma and Nebraska and Kansas and Texas and Louisiana like all week. But whatever. I hear you.
Okay.
Probably recruiting Oklahoma with Clemson's money. Shame. What a
Probably
scumbag
not.
school Oklahoma is.
I highly doubt he did that. But
Okay.
yeah, I think Todd Bates will probably be the next defense coordinator at Clemson. I would love it if they got Gary Patterson. I think that'd be a great person to get to replace Brent Venables. But
It's going to be Manny Diaz. We all know it.
so they're saying that. So the rumor is that they've given Mario Cristobal like
Till
an
tomorrow,
ultimatum.
Monday.
Yeah, till tomorrow to make a decision. And if they hire him, they're going to keep Manny Diaz.
For what? Defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
No, that's too. I would never. I would leave. They're insulting you at that point.
I mean,
Maybe that's why he's not given up yet.
maybe, but that's the rumor. I don't know if it's true or not.
I always thought Dan Radkovich, that's the Clemson AD who's now going to Miami, was a solid guy, but they are really screwing up what they're doing over there. And
well, he's not even there yet, so he's not orchestrating all this.
So whoever is a bumbling idiot because they don't know what they're doing. I mean, they're really screwing Manny Diaz up the ass, if we're being honest. I mean, they're letting the guy out there recruit. They're hanging him on by a thread. I would leave. Say, screw y'all, man. I mean, you want another guy so bad, they're going to keep me on staff, but in case he doesn't come, you're going to keep me around. That's crazy talk. I can't believe what they're doing to old Manny Diaz down there. It's a shame. Shame on Clemson AD, actually Clemson AD Dan Radkovich for his role and whatever he's doing over there. Shame on Brent Venables. Shame on Oklahoma. Shame on Tony Elliott for betraying the great Clemson Tigers.
Jeez. As you're wearing a Carolina jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Picked a good episode of Hume about Clemson and wear a South Carolina jersey. That was well planned by me.
But I think Oklahoma got a good coach. I think it's a solid hire. It's especially going into the SEC in a few years, having a defensive-minded head coach.
Right. They need somebody who can compete when they obviously can't win the worst Power 5 conference in America. They have to leave it OK State.
Pac-12 is the worst.
If they can't beat Oklahoma,
is the worst.
They can't beat an Oklahoma State team. That is awful. It was awful.
Well, when your coach is like 2 feet out the door.
No, his feet were all in the door until he lost that Oklahoma State game.
They were not, and we know it. You're going to tell me that he convinced his wife, all of his assistant coaches and their wives
on how much money they're paying
leave him the day after from Oklahoma to go to LA? No.
Depends on how much money they're paying him.
You don't convince everyone to go that far.
I guess.
You don't.
As you can tell, I'm not pro-Oklahoma right now. I'm anti-Oklahoma, and I will continue to be anti-Oklahoma, especially when Arkansas and Oklahoma, I think they play each other this week in basketball. I will be severely anti-Oklahoma this week, because, I guess they're a rival. I don't know. Maybe. So. They're recruiting rivals, apparently.
Starting to be.
Yeah. That's more to blame on y'all for coming over to our conference. Oklahoma decided, someone at Oklahoma, I guess their athletic director and president were sitting there. We're like, why don't we go over to the conference where we can win sometimes instead and leave the conference where we win 99% of the time? Why don't we go to a conference that is much harder, that has teams that just maul each other to death every year in and year out, other than Alabama, who's just apparently wetter than the rest of us. But why don't we, instead of staying in the Big 12, where we can play Baylor and Oklahoma State, Iowa State, and Texas, who sucks, and who else? Texas Tech. I'd rather play LSU and Alabama and Arkansas and Auburn and Mississippi State and Ole Miss. What do you think about that reasoning right there?
I think the reasoning is money.
The reasoning is greed. A lot more money. Greedy Oklahoma people over there
decided you're going to make
greedy Oklahoma people. Shame. They're so nasty and greedy.
You're going to make a lot more money, and you're going to actually attract better players because of it.
Y'all, literally, what do you mean? Y'all are like in the top.
Texas A&M. Texas A&M was garbage. They were
y'all in the top 5. Garbage. Y'all lose like in the top 5 every year. How many more players do you want? You literally get 5-star wide receivers, 5-star quarterbacks, 5-star, you don't recruit well on defense because that was
That's
Lincoln
the bad
Riley's thing.
fit. There you
Well, he was
go.
just
Now we
unable.
will.
Well, he was unable to do so as a head coach because
Yeah, you have to
he was
change it.
incapable of recruiting good defensive players. It's not because you couldn't, it's because you chose
Well,
not to. You think
well,
Clemson is any more
defensive players
you think
didn't want to
Clemson's
go to the
you
Big
think
12.
Clemson's any more capable of recruiting better defensive players than Oklahoma?
Yes,
How? Just because they have Brent
because
Venables?
well, that helped obviously, but the ACC is more of a defensive conference than the Big 12. They're
Oh,
not a defensive
stop this
conference.
craziness.
They're not a defensive conference. But if you look at the Big 12, every team except for TCU focus on just solely on offense. And it's clear. Everyone sees it. Everyone knows it.
Well, they did. Now they don't.
And now.
Yeah, your Big 12 championship game was like one of the lowest scoring games of the day.
Which I call.
Maybe because Baylor is deciding to play a little defense, recruit defensive players with Dave Aranda. I don't know. Yeah. It's just something to think about.
Now Oklahoma will be doing that with Brent Venables.
Well, they could have been doing it with Lincoln Riley this whole time, but they didn't. I mean,
Alex Grinch was a crappy
crazy
guy.
Because he's sitting there and he's like, "Oh, we recruit better players. You recruit like literally have like top 10 recruiting classes every year. How much more do you want? You think you're gonna move up to like 5, 6?
Just on offense, though.
But yeah, in total, you're always in the top 10. Yeah. Are you not? Like with the whole package?
But that top 10 class versus a Clemson or an Alabama or
Clemson's 3,
LSU or a Georgia.
LSU's usually like 6 or 7. Georgia's like 2. The rest of the SEC like in the back.
Clemson's top 5. There's a big difference from 10 to 5. There's a huge difference.
Oh my God, this guy right here. Y'all made the playoff like 3 times.
The SEC.
What more do you want?
Better players. We see that with Texas A&M. That's the biggest one. They were
Texas A&M had a solidified route when they joined the SEC because of the fact that Texas A&M was sitting in the conference by themselves. Texas and Oklahoma and all the rest of them stayed in the Big 12, right? So when Texas A&M jumped over, they were a Texas team in the SEC that could value-wise players coming over. Missouri didn't do the same thing, right?
Well, it's Missouri.
Well, yeah, it's Oklahoma. It's Texas.
Exactly.
Y'all suck for years and years. Well, Texas has sucked for years now, 20 years. Not 20 years, but like 11 years.
Yeah, ever since A&M left.
Exactly. So what are we saying? So basically what I'm seeing here is that Oklahoma thinks they're going to have the same boost as Texas A&M. So you have to think the people down in Texas are also like, we're going to have the same boost as Texas A&M. But at the end of the day, you're all going to run out of recruits because you're all recruiting the same jokers.
I think Texas A&M's going
to have to balance out a little bit, right?
A&M's going to see a decline. Everyone knows. That's why the A&M didn't want him there in the first place. They knew that was going to happen.
I think you should be more worried about it. If you're like worried about the 2 that's coming over, the one that could take the most advantage is Texas.
Oh, for sure.
I think Oklahoma took advantage of a lower class Big 12 over the past couple of years with Lincoln Riley being able to recruit at some high level, even though Ryan, for some reason, thinks he wasn't. He recruited outclassed.
He was on offense.
He outclassed the Big 12 every year, and it wasn't even competitive.
Just on offense, but not on defense.
I mean, on the whole package, though, y'all were like, that's what I'm trying to say is y'all were like 10th in the country every year in the whole thing. Y'all just recruited. Y'all didn't recruit like defensive players.
I mean, if you look at it, like Texas would beat us in recruiting rankings because they would get defensive players and not develop them. But Oklahoma would just not bring in quality defensive players. Like if you look at their roster, there's maybe like 2 5-stars, which is good. It's good. It's better than most other teams in the country.
I don't think we've gotten a 5-star in 20 years.
Exactly. But if you're looking at Bama, who's winning national championships, Clemson, who's winning national championships, LSU, who won one, Ohio State.
Oh, buddy, you're not coming to the SEC now. Whoa, backtrack real fast. You ain't coming to this conference win no national championship. You want to win national championship, you stay in the Big 12. You crazy.
There's
you think you're coming over here and you think Nick Saban's going to be like, all right, Brent Venables, get out.
So Alabama will.
You think Brian Kelly's going to let?
Alabama will always be the top while Saban's there, and probably even afterwards. Everyone knows that. Oklahoma knows that. Texas knows that. Everyone knows that. Alabama's just the best team. However, Oklahoma does have a very good opportunity to come in and have those years again, like an LSU, like a Georgia, and win national championships. They're there.
No.
If a Georgia and LSU can win a
Why,
national championship, Oklahoma can win it.
if you couldn't do it now, why? If you couldn't run with the footman, how are you going to run with the horse?
Honestly, I think it's probably
you couldn't win one when you were in the crappy Big 12. What makes you think you're going to win one in the SEC?
Well, it helps that we now have a defensive coordinator.
You had one.
Mm-mm.
We had a pretty good time at Washington State, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, Washington State. And then
Washington State.
I mean, if you looked at an Oklahoma defense under Alex Grinch versus a Clemson defense under Brent Venables, it's not even comparable.
What about the offense?
If you look at how Clemson prepares for teams, just on a speed option, the Clemson players know exactly who they're going after, why they're going after them, where they're going after them.
Sure.
The Oklahoma players are just running around like they have no idea what they're doing. And that's the difference.
Yeah, I hear you, man. I don't know. I'm just a little out on Oklahoma right now. Like I said, rivalry with Oklahoma has been reignited. I can't wait for Arkansas. I wish they would have played each other. That would have been awesome.
They will be soon.
They would have crushed them. They better hope we don't play next year. I think we're going to be pretty good next year.
I think y'all be pretty good next year.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Especially on offense.
Wow, we just covered a lot there. That was not a part of schedule. That was a healthy debate. I like that. I still hate Oklahoma. That's not.
See, your hatred needs to go towards Lincoln Riley. It's his fault.
Well, y'all could have.
If it wasn't for Lincoln Riley, if Lincoln Riley hadn't left Oklahoma, Brent Venables would still be in Clemson. Oklahoma's just doing what they got to do, you know.
They could have brought Big Game Bob back, but he's too much of a coward to go in.
Honestly, that would have been. I would have loved that.
He's too much of a coward.
I would have loved that.
Coward.
I don't know if he's a coward.
I'm just trying to trigger you. I don't actually think he's a coward either. I like Bob Stoops. I don't like anybody else at Oklahoma, though. All the rest of them are scumbags. Oklahoma's a loser school. They use Jumpman as their main official athletic sponsor. Lame. Wow, that was a lot. Should we just stop the podcast right now? I'm not,
sure.
But no. Let's keep moving forward. Yesterday, rivalry championship, not rivalry weekend. Championship weekend happened yesterday. We're gonna run through some of the games, not too many. There's about two I'm gonna focus on, especially after that big thing we just had, that big jamboree we just had. I'm gonna run through the ones that I'm gonna ignore real fast. Not ignore, but I'll read the scores off and we'll come back. All right, Pac-12 Championship, Utah, Oregon. I was completely wrong. I was wrong a lot this weekend. I was not a good weekend for Trennon Ray. He was just wrong 100% of the time. He was never right. I was wrong a lot. I was wrong with pretty much everything I picked this weekend. I picked Oklahoma State. I picked Oregon. I did pick Michigan. Shout out to me. I picked Georgia. We both picked Georgia. We were painfully wrong about that. I picked Wake Forest wrong. I did pick Cincy, though. So that was good. And we picked San Diego State. That was good.
No, it was not good.
Oh, wait. Utah State blew them out, didn't they?
Blew them out. That was our worst
46 to 13. Okay. We picked UTSA. Ha ha. Suck it. And we did pick Michigan. Michigan whooped them.
That was a great win for Michigan.
Utah, Oregon. Utah blew out Oregon 38 to 10. Complete slaughter. All right. Next, Conference USA Championship. As we just mentioned, UTSA wins 49 to 41. Congratulations to Jeff Traylor and Barry Lunny Jr. former Arkansas Razorbacks. Keep it moving. San Diego State gets crushed 46 to 13. I couldn't believe that happened. I don't know how.
Mind-blowing.
Weren't they at home too?
I don't know where the game was.
Oh, okay. Well, I think we were at home. Big 12 Championship. Oklahoma State lost. I wanted to shove it down Ryan's throat one last time. I guess they did lose to Baylor too, so it's some kind of reprieve, but not much. It would have been better.
Yeah, we don't mind Baylor as much.
Yeah, this sucks. Mike Gundy's teams love that though. They love losing those big spots.
They like to play spoiler and then just completely faceplant.
Yeah, that quarterback yesterday looked terrible. That Oklahoma State quarterback. I was thinking, how did Oklahoma still let them score this many points?
Because of Alex Grinch. That's why.
He might actually be bad. Shout
I'm
out to
glad he went to
USC.
USC. I am thankful that guy's at
Well, you
USC.
see, the difference between now is though USC doesn't need a defense in the Pac-12. They all
No, they
they
don't.
all suck. I was
Yeah,
sitting
they
there
all suck.
watching that USC. First of all,
The
Lincoln
Cal
Riley.
game.
Yeah, I watched that all the way to like
Yeah.
2:30 a.m. But I was sitting. It was the last football game of the year. You know, I don't know. I felt like obliged to watch it, but I was sitting there looking at it, and I was like, man, these teams are awful.
They're awful. They're so
Yeah,
bad.
they are. Cal is bad. Cal won the football game though. So Lincoln Riley wasn't even there. Fun
He
fact for
doesn't
you.
care. He's probably going to kick all those players off and get a bunch of transfers.
He was in North Carolina. I don't
I
know
guess he's
why.
recruiting. He must be recruiting.
Somebody out in North Carolina. Literally, he's in the hotbed of recruits. Why the hell would you travel across the country to go recruit? Strange move by Lincoln Riley. Maybe he was. I don't know what he. Maybe he was on vacation, taking a little break. I
Maybe.
doubt it though. You can't be doing that. Stupid.
Yeah, he's got to be recruiting. I mean,
Yeah.
signing day is in a couple next week, 2 weeks.
Yeah, not next week, but the week after. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're recruiting right now, so that's big for him. But yeah, that's one of the reasons that you have such a chaotic change nowadays because of that new signing day.
Yeah.
But I digress. I'm also kind of surprised that old Aranda didn't go anywhere. I still thought he was going either to Oklahoma or I thought he was going to stay. It's shocking. I guess they solidified him at Baylor, so I guess he's going to keep moving forward in that direction. What else we got? The ACC Championship game. I was painfully wrong on this. Kenny Pickett just absolutely destroyed Wake Forest. I don't know what happened. We came into this thing thinking Wake Forest's defense wasn't any good. Turns out they're good. Wake Forest didn't stand a chance, and Pitt blew them out.
Yeah, I think Kenny Pickett should be in the Heisman contention. He won't win it, but
No.
he should be up there.
Yeah, Heisman's
But
over.
did you see the fake slide?
Yeah, yeah,
I thought they should have called that.
it's not a rule.
Well, the rule is when you start the slide, that's when you're down, right? So that way they don't hit the quarterback.
Ooh.
So if he starts the slide,
So he did kind of suck. But what if he argued it was like a juke? You know what I mean? He could argue that.
Yeah.
I guess that's probably what they're thinking. They probably didn't realize it. But what are you gonna do? I don't know. Yeah, kind of a weird play there.
Yeah.
All right, that concludes the runs I was gonna run through real fast. They had no meaning. Let's go through the ones that have a meaning. That's 3 of them. Let's start with the Big Ten Championship. We'll probably run through this quite quickly. Michigan could have won this game, could have only scored 7 points and would have won this game easily. It would have been no threat. But instead, they won by 42-3. What's the final score? Iowa is just bad football team. Yeah, I mean, that really tells you how bad the Big Ten is.
I literally turned it off at halftime and started watching the ACC Championship game because I was bored out of my mind with how just it was clear Iowa wasn't going to score another point. It was great on Michigan. They played a fantastic game, but it was really boring to watch, unfortunately. But it was a great win for the Wolverines to score 42 on a pretty good defense. Obviously, their defense, the Michigan defense, didn't have a whole lot to worry about. Iowa can't score. But, good on Michigan. I'm glad they're in the playoff. I hope they go far. I hope they win it, honestly. I'm rooting for them. Go blue.
I don't think they're going to win it, but it'll be fun to watch.
I don't think they're going to win it either, but I'm rooting for them. I don't want Bama. I don't want Georgia to win it.
I think Georgia, maybe. We'll see.
If they keep playing Stetson Bennett, which we'll get into.
No, yeah, they're not. No, they cannot. Yeah, I like Michigan. I thought Hassan Haskins played really well. Caden McNamara was very good. Their defensive lineman, that Aiden Hutchinson, right? That's his name. He was very good. He will be in New York as well. I think he should at least get an invite. Okay. I think he's very good. They're a good football team. I think they comparatively stack up well against the Bulldogs. I think overall, if I had to pick somebody right now, I would pick Michigan. But that would change only if they made JT Daniels the starting quarterback. If JT Daniels is a starting quarterback by the time that the Georgia Bulldogs play Michigan, I'm going all in on Georgia to win the game. But if they keep Stetson Bennett in there, Kirby Smart continues to waste the greatest defense this country has ever seen and can put a walk on. I like Stetson Bennett. As I said in the video I posted yesterday, Stetson Bennett can beat Vanderbilt. He can beat Arkansas. He can beat Florida. He can beat South Carolina. South Carolina, man of honor. Um, he could beat those kind of teams, but when it comes down to it, he's not going to be able to beat the big dogs. If Clemson had a competent quarterback, they probably would have won that game. Looking back on it, it is what it is at this point.
And that was when JT was playing too.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, it was, wasn't it? But apparently, he was hurt at that time. Sad.
I think he got hurt in the game.
No, I heard that he got hurt in the summer or something.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I mean, he didn't lose the game for him.
Anyway,
I think Stetson would have lost that game.
Speaking of Georgia, let's go ahead and just move forward. So Bama wins the game 41-24. It was a complete slaughter. Georgia didn't stand a chance in hell. It's really shocking. There's a lot of shocking things here. First of all, Stetson Bennett is bad. We all knew it going in, other than Kirby Smart. Kirby Smart, the head coach of the Georgia Bulldogs, was oblivious to the fact that Stetson Bennett cannot compete against Alabama. It's been 2 years in a row that this guy has played Alabama and has failed every time. So, with that being said, Alabama was dominant yesterday. I had to pause there for a second. My computer's like freaking out over here. My lights are about to go off. This is a disaster. But like I said, I just think Stetson. What am I? God, I'm off track here, Ryan. I'm off track. My computer's going crazy over here. Sorry, audience. Alabama put up a show against. They exposed Georgia's defense. Georgia has a great run defense, right? But Alabama doesn't run the ball like at all. I don't know if you knew that, Ryan. They don't run the ball. They, with all the offensive talent, running back wise, they've had over the years, they literally do not run the ball this year. They run it. I don't think they even have a running back that's healthy right now. So they throw it. And so what's Georgia's defensive weakness? It seems to be their secondary, as they exposed it pretty much all night. Bryce Young, they couldn't do a thing against Auburn's defense, but they threw the lights out against Georgia's defense. Also in other Alabama news, John Mechie, I believe, tore his ACL in the game. So that's sad. Very good wide receiver. He'll be going to the NFL, I imagine. But
I think he's got some more time at Bama. But
I thought he was a junior.
I'm not sure. I don't think he's that. I thought he was pretty young. Let me pull up real quick.
Yeah,
he is a junior.
Yeah, I thought
he could be going, I guess. We'll see.
It depends on how long I guess it takes him to. Maybe he might come back mainly because of this ACL situation. It might be in his best interest to come back. But Georgia, Stetson Bennett is bad, and you can't run over Alabama, man. Alabama. So I was reading stats before the game, and Alabama has one of the best first down run defenses. Their defense is really good on first down running. So when Georgia decided that's what they were going to do, it didn't work. And then it didn't work because Stetson Bennett's not a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback, but he's not good enough to beat the Alabama.
Not an elite quarterback.
Exactly. He's the kind of NFL quarterback that in 10 years I'm going to be sitting at home for Thanksgiving dinner and watching the Detroit Lions play, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, Stetson Bennett is starting for blank injured quarterback. And I'll be like, holy crap, he's in the NFL. I had no idea. He's going to be at a he'll probably make the NFL, somebody's practice squad or a backup.
He'll make a practice squad, maybe.
He'll make a backup. I'm telling you, he'll make some random backup. 10 years. Look, there's some goofy quarterbacks in the NFL that I've never heard of before. And I have a pretty solid idea about who's a good starting quarterback and who's not. Some of these teams throw out the most. Nathan Peterman, you remember him?
Good point.
Yeah, so they love these random. I bet you there's like 15 quarterbacks in this league, probably in the AFC alone, that I just wouldn't know anything about. Like, who is this guy? Where's he from? Why is he in the league? He gets paid. So Stetson Bennett can definitely do that. I'm telling you, 10 years from now, I'm going to be sitting at home, and they're going to be like, just breaking news, the Detroit Lions starter has a broken rib and won't be able to play, and Stetson Bennett's going to get the start. That's just the way it goes sometimes. But they just need to start JT Daniels. There's no other way about it. You've got to. Kirby was a fool not to start him unless he is just dying and they have no reason to start. I mean, he is just so much pain and can't do anything and is unable to come in and do anything. Is that why they're starting him? You think there's any
No,
conspiracy
he's been
there?
healthy for a few weeks now, like fully healthy. I think since the Florida game, he's been fully healthy. I, people, I don't know what's wrong with Kirby Smart. I mean,
It's crazy.
a few years ago, it was Fromm and Justin Fields.
Yeah,
Like, why are we starting Fromm when you have Justin Fields on the bench?
exactly.
Justin Fields has gone on to become a Heisman runner-up, if I remember right. Almost won Acc Championship, and now he's a franchise quarterback for the Bears. Fromm is on a practice squad, I think, for the Buffalo Bills, if I remember right. Like, are you serious? And it's the same thing here. JT Daniels, if someone would put some confidence behind his name, could go on to be a starter in the NFL. He has the
Agreed.
talent. He is a good quarterback. Stetson Bennett, I think you're right. His best opportunity is maybe a practice squad. It doesn't make any sense. I don't know what is wrong with Kirby Smart, why he doesn't play his good quarterbacks. Maybe he just wants to prove his defense is better than everyone else's and he can win just on defense. I don't know. But he's being really stupid right now. And he will not win that championship.
I agree. Kirby Smart has no idea what he's doing. He's a clueless, bumbling fool. Not really, but he got to start JT Daniels. You've got to. You've got to. You got to. We all saw what happened yesterday. Have you seen the video of Stetson Bennett getting hit in the face with that pass?
Yeah. With a
Very
trophy
embarrassing.
instead.
Yeah. Sad.
What's crazy is the exact same score that Georgia lost to Alabama as last year when Stetson Bennett started. Exact
Oh
same score.
my God.
Change it up.
And this Alabama team isn't even as good as that one was.
This
Not
is
as
a
nearly
rebuilding
as
team.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, they're rebuilding.
They still only have one loss. Poof. Oh, to be
Yeah,
Alabama. Nothing
Bama's
but the
something else.
Tide. How about them Alabama Crimson Tide? Um, yeah, just whatever, man. Alabama's good again. Bryce Young's gonna win the Heisman. He deserves it though. Is that
He
gonna be
doesn't.
two Alabama players in a row?
Yeah,
They're going on a little Oklahoma streak here.
they are.
How about that, huh? That's pretty
Bama's
exciting.
something else. They're good.
Yeah. How about Alabama? Roll Tide, roll. Last but not my God. Last but not least, we've got to talk about the other playoff contender, um, Cincinnati. They played Houston yesterday. Houston.
Houston.
Um, the over under was 53. I don't know why I'm saying that. I don't even know what the score was. Did it hit? Oh, it did. Yeah, they
Yeah.
scored 55. How about that? Good for the over. Houston didn't really struggle with since he didn't really struggle with Houston. I was kind of surprised because I figured this would be a closer game, but good for Cincinnati. They felt like they probably needed to
Yeah.
make a statement, and they made
It was
one.
a 1 point game at halftime. So it was kind of close. And then since he just pulled away, I don't think Houston even scored until the fourth quarter to get their 20. Um, yeah, I mean, great win for Cincinnati. I mean, Houston's a good team. They have a great offense, below average defense. Um, Good win for them. I don't know if they're going to be able to do anything in the playoff. They were very close with Georgia last year in I think it was the Sugar Bowl. I don't remember. Some of the Year Six Bowl.
SEC don't play teams don't care about going to bowl
Yeah,
games.
very possible. So I don't know what we're going to see with Cincinnati. I think they're going to get beaten. I think it's going to be a blowout. I hate to say it because I want them to do well, but I think it's going to be a blowout.
The line is minus 13 and a half right now for Alabama. For Georgia, it's -7 over Michigan. I think Cincinnati, as I said in the video earlier today, I said they have to watch the film for Arkansas and Tennessee because they have a similar style offense. You can find ways to expose that Bama defense. They aren't that good. Georgia just was incapable of doing anything positive against them. But that being said, I just don't think Cincinnati's defense has the dogs to keep up with Alabama. But I could be wrong about that too. We'll see, and I'll get a kind of a gut feel about it how the season goes on. But that's kind of where I stand with that. That's your but that's your four. There's your championship games.
Yeah, I mean,
Any
it'll be really interesting to see. Um, it's kind of funny how this whole playoff came into form. Um, like you have Georgia and I guess Michigan with the two good defenses, and then you got Cincinnati and Bama with the good offenses. Guess we'll see who wins.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch. I'm trying to look and see if there's any other breaking news. Is there any breaking news?
Well, they've officially announced Brent Venables, so that's not
Um,
a whole lot of craziness.
Watching and
Let's say
seeing
that.
what the so happy for coach. He deserves it from Xavier Thomas more than anyone. Hardest working man I've ever known. Y'all take care of him. OU football. Some of the other Clemson players. Let's see what they say. Sports Center is tweeting about it. Everybody's tweeting about it. It's so sad. Um, Clemson QB Jimmy Greenbeans has entered the transfer portal. Who's that? Is that a fake
Yeah.
tweet? Nobody. It must be a fake tweet. Ignore
I was
that.
like, "Ooh."
Arkansas versus Penn State in the Outback Bowl. Oklahoma for who y'all playing in the Oklahoma? Who y'all playing?
Oregon.
Ooh, the Battle of the O's. I love a good O game.
There's a little bit of
Oregon.
hatred in that game too. We played Oregon. I think it was 07,
Oh
06.
my God! For
And there was a controversial call that Oklahoma's pretty pissed about. So
it's been like 12, 13 years.
it has, but you brought back the coach who coached that game.
Who
So
Brent
he's kind of come
Venables?
up again.
Who Brent Venables?
Well, he was there, but
Oh,
Bob
Bobby
Stoops,
Stoops.
Bob Stoops would be coaching it.
Hell, Brent Venables might get on the field. He's one of those crackpots that might actually do that. He's a weird guy. You think Oklahoma is going to get him a get back coach?
They got to.
Yeah.
They got to.
Well, he's got to be a little more calm and collected. Well, I guess Kirby Smart isn't. Kirby Smart's jumping and screaming on the
I mean,
sidelines
have you
too.
seen Nick Saban's throwing headsets and stuff?
Well, Nick Saban's old. He's not moving too much. He just gets mad. See, Kirby
Well, he
Smart's
used to throw headsets.
see Kirby Smart actually like almost goes on the field. So, what are you gonna do? But yeah, Brent Venables going to Oklahoma. Do you think Tony Elliott's leaving? Where do you think he's going? Duke or Virginia?
I think Virginia's the better job, clearly. Um, he's interviewed for both. He hasn't been offered either job that I know of yet, but I would say he's leaning towards going there as well. I would love if Clemson would replace him with Willie Corn out of Coastal Carolina, but I think they're just going to promote Brandon Streeter, um, who's the passing game coordinator. So we'll see what
You think they
happens.
hire a new offensive line coordinator at Clemson?
So what's been happening is they think that
That was a
Robbie
big topic.
Caldwell is
Yeah,
going to retire. And they've already hired, I can't remember his name.
Taj
Austin
Boyd.
something.
Yeah,
He's on the roster too, but um, they think he's just going to take over. I don't know if that's true or not.
yeah.
That's
Maybe
the rumor.
Dabo doesn't go anywhere and does anything. He just promotes from the inside.
That's what he's been doing recently. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
that's what
that's
they
what's going
like
to happen.
doing.
I would love it. I don't mind Brandon Streeter being promoted to offensive coordinator, but I would really love it if they got Gary Patterson. Like that would be a home run. That'd be like for like Brent Venables.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. We'll see what Dabo can do. See what Dabo can bring in.
I mean, with how much Clemson spends on their assistants, you can get anyone.
It's true.
You
You
can get
could.
anyone.
They're saving a lot of money right now. Oh, upheaval at Clemson. I wonder who they're going to replace with the athletic director.
So they're saying that they've been grooming some guy, and they're just going to promote him up too.
Oh my God. They don't. They don't. They're like,
they don't play.
yeah. They
They
must
don't
be
play
doing
around.
some kind of. They must be doing some kind of like dirty business over there in Clemson. What are they doing over there? They don't like bringing anybody new in. What kind of drug money are they smuggling under the table to these recruits or something like that? Must be
Well, it's
some.
like they bring in. I mean, they brought in Brent Venables, they brought in Chad Morris, and then they get like a scheme and a system in place, and then from there they just promote up from that, so they don't have to change anything. And you just
Yeah,
keep all your players.
they literally don't bring anyone in ever. They brought Brent Venables in, and then they brought Chatty Morris in, and then they promoted the other two, Jeff Scott and uh, Tony Elliott, and then finally they're both gone. He's one's down in South Florida, rebuilding that program, and then and it's gonna take time. You gotta have some
I
patience.
don't know about that. That thing sucks.
And then Tony Elliott. Do you think it's going to be any better for Tony Elliott at Duke?
No,
Yeah, I
I
don't think so.
I don't think either of them were the greatest of coaches. I think Jeff Scott was better than Tony Elliott, but
Yeah.
I think they were just kind of taking the scheme and the talent of players that they had and just kind of ran with it
Is
and
Brent
got lucky.
Venables going to coach the bowl game or no?
No, it'll be Bob Stoops.
No, I mean for Clemson. Probably not, right?
Oh, I mean, if they're going to promote Todd Bates, then I could see it happening where he doesn't coach it. But if they don't promote Todd Bates, then yeah, I would say so.
Yeah, maybe we'll see what happens. I'm interested to see. Um, I'm interested to see now if Clemson recruits at the defensive standard that they have been. I know you said that the other guy was doing the hard work, but
You still have the Brent Venables,
yeah, that
persona
name, yeah,
that
that
gets you
name,
recruits.
exactly.
That's why I think you should get Gary Patterson. Dude can recruit. He's been a head coach for years. He knows what he's doing. He was pretty much the defensive guy in the Big 12, and it's why the Big 12 started to move towards defensive
Yeah.
structures more. Like the dude's amazing on defense. Like they need that. That's the guy I would hire.
How do you think Brent Venables is going to do?
I think
What's
this
your
next year is going to be
assumption?
rough. This is going to be a rough next year for Oklahoma. I don't think they
You're
win
still
the
going to
Big
have old
12.
Caleb Williams. I don't think he's leaving.
I don't think he's leaving either. I think Baylor's going to win the Big 12 next year. Oklahoma
Again?
State losing all their stuff. Texas sucks still. I think Oklahoma will be good. And I think they'll be up there for a Big 12, but I don't think they win it. I think it's a rebuilding year with how much they've, Lincoln Riley really screwed Oklahoma over. Like he screwed them over.
Yeah, he did.
Um, like what's going on with Brian Kelly and Brent Venables? That's not being screwed over. That's just people moving on. Lincoln
I
Riley
agree.
screwed him over.
I agree.
So Oklahoma's got some rebuilding to do.
Brent Venables officially headed to Oklahoma. We'll be posting about that later on. This is the end of the episode. I think we've done everything we needed to do, right?
I think
I'm
so.
pretty happy.
Yeah.
So Brent Venables going to OU. That is the going thing right now. We'll be back later on Friday to wrap this thing up, and we'll be good to go. Any last thoughts or concerns or whatever?
I have no concerns at this point.
All right, sounds good. Thank you for watching the TNR Sports Show. Bye. What's up, everybody? I promised you an ad in the middle of the episode, so here's your ad. Um, Thanks for all your support. There is no ad. I don't have any advertisers, but what we do have is a show that we were trying to promote. So we got, college football's over now. We're going to be moving forward. We've got NFL content coming your way. We're going to have college basketball content's going to be picking up. Coaching carousel stuff's going to be picking up. So be watching out for that. It's on Spotify. If you want on Spotify, there's a video version of that you can see on Spotify, and you can see and you can listen to it audio as well on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get podcasts. I believe we release YouTube. We're on YouTube, obviously. I'm thinking about uploading clips all over, just get some traction on the pod, and we'll see how we go from there. So I just wanted to thank everybody for watching the TNR Sports Show. And it does mean a lot to me. It means a lot to Ryan. We're both massive fans. We like college football. That's why I do this. We don't get a lot of views. We don't get a lot of likes and clicks, but we do. I appreciate all the support that we get. So I do thank y'all for that. So if you want to interact with us, follow us on Instagram, follow us on Twitter, TNR Hog. A lot of the stuff's in the description where you can find our socials. So thanks for your support. I really do appreciate it. Go TNR, go Hogs. This is TNR Sports Show.